Hello everybody, Thailand Phil here, and today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take you back 44 years when I used to be a teenager and lived in a town called Chippenham in the southwest country of England. And this is my story of a house that I lived in which had a ghost. My parents had been looking for quite a while for a semi-detached house, and one day they spotted one in the local estate agents, which was a really good price. In fact, lower than most of them in that Pacific area. So they went ahead and viewed the house and decided that was for them. Later on, we all found out why this house was a lot cheaper than any of the others. Anyway, things progressed well. They got themselves a mortgage, set all the wheels in motion, and arranged to move in. Got a local removing company, and one day we all moved in. Everything went well to start with. In fact, everything went well for about the first month or so. My mother had a little dog. I've no idea of the breed or the name of it, but anyway, after a few weeks it started to sit at the bottom of the stairs looking up at the top. At the top was a bathroom door. Then round the corner of the landing were 3 bedrooms. Mine was the smallest, and my brother, who was older, had the next one, and my parents had the largest one. We took no notice really of a dog sitting there staring up. Dogs are strange. And at that age, I was 17 and I didn't really take much notice of what was going on. I thought it was lonely. Who knows? One evening, we were all in the lounge watching TV, and the dog started to play up. Started to really have one. Started scratching the door, whining. Obviously wanted to go out and go out into the garden, so my mum got up and opened the door. But instead of bolting out into the kitchen waiting to be let out into the garden, he went straight for the bottom of the stairs again, but this time started to shake from nose to tail. Really did do some shaking. It was whining louder than normal, but certainly wasn't barking or anything like that. Dad came out and joined Mum. They got the dog into the garden, but it wasn't really happy. It sat there looking up at the house, or so I was told, because I remained in the lounge watching some TV program, as we did in those days. I mean, wow, we had 4 channels. Yeah, amazing. Things progressed, unfortunately, not very well. One of the issues that my parents had was in the rear lounge. We had 2 lounges. It wasn't thought of in those days to knock through and do things like that. That just didn't happen back in those years. And that room always smelt of pipe smoke, as if someone was smoking a pipe, and quite often it was quite strong. So they decided that they would wash the carpets and or the carpet, and everything would be fine. So next couple of days, one weekend actually, they washed the carpet. I remember it was called 1001 shampoo carpet cleaner. It was the latest things in those days. It's strange how you remember things. Anyway, they washed it. No one was allowed to walk across it for a few days until it dried, and hopefully everything was good. I came down one morning, I don't know, a few days later, and I noticed that the chest freezer had been put into the corner, right hand corner of this room on top of the carpet. How strange. So a bit later on I asked my parents, hey, what's the fridge freezer doing in the lounge? And I was told that the carpet would peel back a little bit, was I think their words, and therefore they've put the chest freezer on there to stop the carpet curling up. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was on the way out, as I was every night, going to see my friends. I had just bought a new car, well, a second-hand car. It was called a Triumph Herald. There's a picture above. I don't know if any of you guys can remember way back in those times. But it was a great first car. I go out with all my friends. We had a local pub, and we'd go out and just have a beer. Yeah, it was really good times in those days back in the 70s. Things unfortunately progressed even worse from them. One day I came down early in the morning. I think I was going out somewhere, and only to see that the carpet in that back room had been rolled back, but the chest freezer was actually on the floorboards. Huh? Oh, how strange. Perhaps it's my parents doing it. So yeah, when they eventually got up about an hour later, I said to them, carpet's rolled back in the corner and the fridge freezer hasn't moved. And I remember my mother's face going absolutely white. She looked at my father looked at her, and I was told, oh, just forget it, we must have moved it to dust. I went out, came back, find my parents in the back garden, sat on a couple of chairs. So I wandered out. I said, oh, I'm gonna go upstairs and have a bath. I've been out all day. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine. We were sitting out here, it's a nice sunny day, I remember. So I went up, turned all the taps on the bath, and came back down. About 5 minutes later, my father turned around and said, the overflow's running coming out of the bathroom. What on earth are you doing in there, Philip? I'm just running a bath, it won't even be anywhere near the top. So up I go, and the bathroom basin had both its taps fully on, absolutely pouring out, going all over the edge, going onto the floor, going down the overflow. So I went to turn them off and they were really tight. Perhaps they hadn't been used for a while. Anyway, managed to undo them, went back down, told me mum and dad that somehow the taps had turned themselves on. I don't remember doing it, but perhaps I did. Again, there was this look between them both. They did not look at all happy. Oh God, here we go. I'm in for a right rollicking here, but I didn't get a telling off or anything, which was strange. Back I go up, bath's getting really sort of full to the top. I love to have a soak, so carried on, and when I finished, drained it, came back down. Meanwhile, when I came down the stairs, there's the dog sat at the bottom of the stairs staring up. Hello dog, whatever your name is. And it ignored me, just stared and stared at the bathroom door. Strange dog. Perhaps we ought to get a new one. I tell my parents I'm going out with my friends in my new car, and off we go out. Next day my parents tell me, oh, we're going out tonight, would you stay in and look after the dog? I said, yeah, that's fine, I'll stay in, watch some TV, I don't really mind. And off they went out for the evening. I'm in the front lounge, got the door shut, watching TV, and I hear a horrendous crash out in the kitchen. Now the kitchen had red tile floor, no carpet, no rug or anything. So I get up, I go out. It was evening by now, it was dark in the house, and I went to flip the switch on in the kitchen. No light. Oh great, now already bulbs blown. So I go and get a torch, and I look around and look up at the light, and there's no light shade on there. There's no bulb on there, but the little ring that holds the lampshade up is still on there. I look down on the floor. There's the lampshade. There's the glass bulb on the tiled floor, unbroken. What? That's not possible. Absolutely impossible. Anyway, I get a chair. I climb up. I undo the ring on the bulb holder. Put the lampshade back up. Tighten up the little ring that holds it on. Put the bulb in. Bing! Up comes the light. I have a shiver. That's the only way I could describe. I remember so well. And I find myself looking around the kitchen. The hell, I don't feel good. Whoa, I feel cold. And this real cold shiver went through me. Anyway, jumped down off the chair, put it back in the corner in the kitchen, dragged the dog back into the front lounge, because it really was acting as if it was petrified. There I am feeling really uncomfortable and shivering. Anyway, we go in. Nothing else happens that night. I'm still thinking about it. How on earth can a bulb fall out and not break? Parents come home eventually. I say, I had a really weird experience tonight, and I told them. Dad turned around and said, I don't believe you. No way, you're just trying to wind us up. So that was dropped. So that's two very strange experiences in the space of a few days. The dog continues to sit at the stairs. Now it's whining. Sometimes it barks quite a bit. In fact, the barking does actually become quite loud. So I sit down with my parents a few days later in the lounge and say, hey, come on guys. Well, we didn't say guys, come on mum and dad. What's going on in here? What's happening? There's something really weird because I'm getting this bad feeling. And they said, well, we weren't going to tell you, we didn't want to scare you, but we believe we have a ghost, the previous owner. And by all accounts, they've made a few inquiries, and this guy that lived there, quite an oldish guy, lived with his wife and his daughter, and his name was Charlie. And Charlie was rather downtrodden, to say the least, and the only place he could smoke his pipe, you got it, in the back room in the far right hand corner, sat on his chair. He wasn't allowed to move around the house with his pipe. It had to be only there with the door shut. It transpires that he was a very, very lonely guy, and he committed suicide. At least I believe he committed suicide in the house, and he was very unhappy somebody else being in this house. My parents, after he told me this, certainly my mother started to become depressed. She went off to the doctor. I believe she was on tablets. All of this was kept very quiet from me until a long time afterwards, where I managed to piece it all together. Something happened one afternoon. She had gone upstairs to their bedroom and was packing a suitcase. I believe we were getting ready to move out, and something had happened. They never told me. But Dad went, I heard a scream, Dad went tearing upstairs, up there for a while, brings Mum down, sobbing her eyes out. Come on, Philip, we'll wait outside, we'll wait for your brother to come back, and we're leaving. And to this day, I never know what actually happened. I have my suspicions. So, we move out, we go and stay somewhere, I don't remember where. They put the house on the market. They have a quick seller because they're selling it really quick, and they sold it to a young man and woman who wanted to go in there to start a family. Good sized house. I found out later on from friends who knew friends that lived very close that one night this man and woman were seen late at night to exit the house extremely quickly. By all accounts, they jumped into the car and they sped off, never to go back again. I firmly believe that yes, there was a ghost in there. even now talking about it, I get a shiver down my back. For quite a while, to go to work, I used to drive past the bottom of that road, and I always felt that something was watching me as I drove past. Whether it was daytime, evening, nighttime, it was very, very spooky. I wouldn't even go up the road to look at the house. It gave me the creeps. 3, 4 years later, I drove past and I didn't get that feeling. And I firmly believe that Charlie, if that was his real name, had actually moved on. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope that he had found peace at last, because by all accounts he didn't have a very good life. That's a true story. It really happened, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. It's not all about Pattaya, just a little ghost story. Hope you sleep well tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you really enjoyed it, give me some likes. And if you'd like to hear some more stories of my early days when I worked in nightclubs and all sorts of things, please just let me know, and we'll do a few more. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. Please subscribe and you'll see all my new blogs, video blogs, almost as soon as I've posted them. If you've liked this video, please give the like button a push. That would be really appreciated. So anyway, this is Thailand Phil with Shivers Goings Back, saying bye bye now. Bye bye.